Welcome to episode 3 of the Counter Nature Show. Jayel coming from New York still. Xner coming from Paradise.
Yeah. It's been a quite a experience. I'm just right now. I don't know what the best word to put it is, but so tired of dealing with this mobile setup. I'm ready to be just on my computer and know what's going on.
Yeah, I think I cursed us the second I said, "Oh wow, we're kind of like ahead schedule tonight." Kind of going through all the notes, and then yeah, 27 minutes after go time,
Yeah,
we're back.
literally like right before we were preparing, it just all crashed. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's all good.
vacation's been nice. I've been missing some good casting, but not too worried about it because it's I've still got to get a couple games in, and I'll be back pretty soon. So
Yeah, and
all in
speaking of
all,
casting,
pretty
and
good.
you and Canadian got the Brazil League, right? You guys locked up.
Yeah, yeah. That was all Reggie. I know he's been working with Clutch before, so he definitely did a lot of work getting us that gig, and I'm super excited for it because getting on the mic consistently like night after night is so much easier than like spreading it out like bunch of different qualifiers and stuff like that. So it's super nice to actually be doing it consistently.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely understand that.
Oh yeah.
Um, so to get into it for everyone here for the knife giveaway, we're doing that towards the end of the show, just to kind of not have to cut out our YouTube thing. So sorry. Hope you enjoy. Um, so yeah, we're gonna kick things off, kind of covering the grand finals for ESEA, Main Open, and IM that went over this past week. Open, no surprise there. Yeah, gaming. Actually, I think they did drop a map in that series, but they won Open. Surprise. Big surprise. Um, and then those are beautiful. It's a beautiful scene back there, honestly. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a
I wish I could
Van
have
Gogh.
this I wish I could have this background at all times, but unfortunately I'm stuck in the basement when I'm not when I'm, so
uh,
I gotta capitalize on this nice view.
yeah. Um, I am X Eros won, the 36 seed, took the W for IM. And then actually, well, I'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, Eros won IM as the 36 seed, which is impressive. And then main GGPR complete their playoff sweep, not dropping a single map. I think it was 14 maps played
Wow.
in the main playoffs. Yeah. Supposedly,
In
I've seen,
Maine.
yeah, in Maine, I've seen some people say that it's been done before, but it's rare. So I can't say it's like a one-off thing, but yeah, it's definitely rare, for sure. And then, yeah, the Twitter drama with Cuz getting cut, um, that was interesting to say the least. I don't know the
Yeah.
details of it, but and I won't go into too
There's
much
been a,
of it.
there's been such so much Twitter drama going on. I don't know if maybe it's just like a spicy week, I guess. I don't know what the deal was with
Yeah.
everybody, but
Twitter
uh
drama is greater than ESCA drama. You heard it here first. It's
it's fun.
yeah,
It's fun to just watch it go down from like get my popcorn ready and just
yeah,
just watch people go at it. It's,
yeah.
it's hilarious.
So GGPR win main,
Uh,
up to advanced as well as yeah gaming and Eros. So it'll be cool to see GGPR, see if they can continue that streak. They looked awesome on that back end of this season and in playoffs, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see who they bring in on that squad to replace Cuz. I'm assuming they obviously are planning to improve it, and so yeah,
mhm.
shout out to them. Congratulations.
Yeah. There's a lot of good players out there I think that are looking for a team. Like I feel like there's been just so much roster moves this season. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty common with teams trying to just like really make it far in every league. So
Yep.
capitalizing on this little player break and break between seasons is just a perfect time.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, with that being said, speaking of roster moves, I feel like we got to see a whole lot of debuts in IEM New York qualifiers and uh, starting things off, the two teams that have made it into those closed qualifiers are RBG and Rebirth. We got to see. I mean, for RBG, it was kind of the same team, but the team that they played against, um, the one player that I really knew was J Dubs, but we actually got to see kind of a new advanced roster. come into play here, and they did lose 2-0, but the game was super fun to watch, and I let J-Dubs know in like Twitter DMs, but I saw just like a lot of potential for them to move on further. So definitely like really cool to see a couple of these teams, and then we still got some games going on tomorrow. So
Tomorrow and tonight.
yeah,
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, like with that being said, as far as like your buddy's team with J Dubs, it's cool. Like this is the start of, you know, the kind of shift in ESEA, and potentially the entire
oh yeah,
NA scene where the team competitions are getting the priority. So this week we got these two. It's 4 nights of the week, right? So Monday and Tuesday were the IEM qualifier one, and now Wednesday and Thursday will be the second qualifier. So 4 days of the week have been dedicated to this qualifier, which is a complete open tournament, and then this weekend will be the first ESEA open tournament.
oh yeah,
So it's
yeah.
awesome. It's cool. Yeah, like all
The
these new
cups, like
rosters.
kind of like the Mythic League Cup, yeah. Like
Exactly. Yep.
I'm super excited. There's so much more money going on. I mean, it'll give more money to orgs. It'll give more availability to casters to cast these really cool games, and I'm that's this is like such a cool opportunity, and I'm
Yeah.
super excited, like you were saying, to see what's gonna go on here.
Yeah. Given the attention to the teams that, yeah, it just gives more attention to the teams that are grinding it out, and gives more incentive to grind because if you're a good player, cool. Are you on a good team? Cool. How good of a team are you on? Are you going to actually make it far in this tournament, or are you going to crash out and be trash? I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. That's how it should be.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
So yeah, just to kind of touch back on last night's qualifier, with RBG and Rebirth making it. Rebirth, newly sponsored Rebirth team, who's in MDL. Um, they beat Eros in the last match to qualify the new Eros team. So as I mentioned before, Eros won IM. That team separated from the Eros organization, and then Eros picked up the Northern Forces advanced team. And Northern Forces wasn't really anything to go talk home about last season in advanced. I'm not sure if it was their first or if they've been there before, but nothing great. But they've been definitely looking good, especially in that IEM New York
Yeah.
qualifier. So that was cool to see Eros kind of go from the IM champions to like kind of grinding all the way to that very last match in the IM qualifier. They got their HLTV page, so yeah, shout out to them. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that Eros team beat a bunch of teams on their way there. They beat Infinity Esports, who's in MDL relegation. They beat Hyper, who's obviously an MDL relegation from Advanced, and then Eclipse, who is a current MDL team, not to be confused with the previous Eclipse from Advanced. They have a new roster in MDL with Droid and some other players who I
Okay.
can't think of. But yeah, and as we said, right, we're back in it again tonight with the second qualifier. Lots of teams are grinding through that. Last chance to
Yeah. I
get in
saw
there. Yep.
saw Big chilling in a couple of I know Imperium esports is in there as well, Kinship in there, and they'll all get kind of a second chance. I think we also saw one of the teams was it Positive Vibes who lost a best of one earlier, so
Yeah,
they
positive
might have
vibes.
a second chance to qualify there when really they probably should have qualified yesterday, but they'll have take number 2 here, and hopefully they get their opportunity because I mean they had a tough loss yesterday, but hopefully they are able to close out pretty confidently. But yeah, that Euros team that you were talking about, that the ex Northern Forces squad, it's really interesting to see them picking up some like really weird wins, because I mean honestly I didn't see much from them advance, and I think that maybe they've been putting a lot of work in this season, in the off season, maybe to try and get their skill up to maybe getting advanced playoffs, maybe making a good run in season 35. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and we were talking about on the call before. We went live, and before your microphone decided to jump out the window
Ugh.
behind you. But but yeah, I mean, that first season in advance, I feel like is tough for a lot of these teams, and these teams that have stuck together in that through that first season, or through their, I guess, hardship seasons rather, that want to keep progressing, they have awesome opportunities to really turn up.
Yeah,
Um, and make a name for themselves this season. And I think it's encouraging for these teams that are making these runs in the qualifiers for IEM, and then of course this weekend will be really exciting to see the teams that perform well. And the end of the month, tournament, I think will be right around when the seasons are starting, or they have
yeah,
already started. I'm not sure.
28th.
Yeah.
I think the
So
28th and the 22nd are the two dates. I'm not sure. like for sure. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
those are two of the
Okay.
dates there. But
And before we
yeah.
close this out and move on, let me give the attention to JoJo that he's looking for. JoJo and squad
Oh, yeah.
crashing and burning, I see in this evening's tournament. So rip. Um,
That was just two big L's, man. I saw them get out. I watched JoJo get out. I was trying to be their cheerleader, but they literally got like knocked out in the first round probably, or maybe second round. So kind of embarrassing, but also JoJo didn't have much help. I mean, I don't.
yeah, I
I know
think
he tried to get a couple of advanced players, but I mean they just got smoked. I think they actually got a pretty good main team like early on in the qualifiers. So
I know this
unlucky, I
evening's
guess.
team was definitely not up to par compared to last evening's.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
it was last night was their only chance, I
yeah.
think, or 2 nights ago. That was so funny.
Um, so yeah, let's go into MDL relegation. Coming up next week, right? Or is it this weekend? The 18th.
Yes, yes.
Days.
I think it's as soon as I get home from vacation, so I'm actually gonna be on my like nice setup and everything. So I'm so excited that I'll be back for that. But yeah, it's next week. A lot of good teams. Tomorrow night, it's gonna be Imperium versus Ad Ice for that last spot. So that'll be interesting. Both those teams have looked very good this season. I'm really glad that both of them have an opportunity to get that last spot. But
Yeah.
also, like, I think Ad Ice's roster totally fell apart during the off season, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure what that is going to look like. But I'm pretty sure Imperium Esports should have a pretty good chance to take that one for sure. They I think are the better team. They won in regular season, so I think they're gonna take that last spot. So it's gonna be Thunder Logic, RBG Esports, Lethal Divide, Team Hyper, and Kinship, and then of course Imperium or Ad Ice. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a really interesting tournament to watch. All those teams look like they can kind of beat each other. I think RBG and Thunder Logic are the two teams kind of helming the top of the
Yeah.
my expectations at least.
I agree. And I mean, same here. I don't have any faith in honestly, I don't have any faith in the MDL teams kind of regaining their spots. Maybe not maybe. I'm completely biased, obviously. Would consider me cover advanced and stuff, but
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Thunder
I totally didn't see that yeah, it's Infinity and Buff Daddies. But yeah, Buff Daddy just had a rough season in MDL and I Infinity's already losing to advanced teams and qualifiers, so maybe. But yeah, all the advanced teams that you and I are covering, I feel like put in a lot more work and should have a pretty good chance.
yeah. And just kind of going back to Imperium, yeah, I'm excited for them, and I'm happy that the ESEA admins gave them the spot instead of like yeah
Hmm.
gaming or something. Um, just because yeah, I mean like they've been grinding and they've been in this and it gives them a good chance to get better competition and yeah proven and like you said right and you started to talk about Imperium's been grinding and I think they're really focused on kind of improving which is
Oh
deserved
yeah.
and give them the chance to kind of play against this top competition and it'll be a great entrance into the next season of advance for them or I mean heck if they even like kind of come through and and pull some upstates and make it into MDL would be crazy but I
That would
see
be an actual crazy run. Yeah.
yeah but I see Nays in chat and so Kinship definitely going to be trying to take that third
Yeah.
spot um
Kinship for sure too. Yeah, I mean Kinship. I'm just saying like Thunder and Logic and RBG. I feel like got those number one, number two seeds in my book. But I mean Kinship definitely closely behind them for sure.
yeah
And all the advanced teams like Lethal Divide and Team Hyper as well. Lethal Divide looked super good in the finals. They had a pretty good lower bracket run on top of uh playing some teams quite well. They fell to third impact in the lower bracket, and if they didn't roll the dice a little bit unlucky there against them, I think that they might have made it a little bit further on. But I mean, all those teams have
yeah
a pretty good chance. Even Team Hyper had a good run, and so I'm super excited to watch. Like, it'll just be a showcase of all of the advanced teams that I've just wanted to see play best of threes against each other,
yeah
doing that. So I'm excited to cover
yeah
that.
for sure. It'll be like kind of advanced playoffs. And Team Hyper also, like they made their announcement that they're looking for a fifth because someone's going to be leaving after the MDL relegation. Like I said, I think I commented on with this to you or someone else, but I was like, what if Hyper makes MDL? I guess they don't need a fifth, but It'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see where that said fifth does go. I don't know details about that. I'm not sure if anyone else does,
yeah.
but yeah, that's a cool team. I like them. So
Um, Jojo just said that Lethal Divide's playing with Bidu, which I have never seen Bidu play actually. So that'll be interesting to see. They had a pretty good roster in the playoffs, so I wonder if changing it up is going to hurt them, or if maybe it'll make them a little bit better.
yeah, I don't know either.
Bidu
Um,
is good. Good. Okay. I imagine they picked someone up pretty good.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah. And then
s-
to finish things off here kind of with the move ups there, Z-Pug God's getting automatically put into MDL, which I think is pretty much well deserved. I'm kind of
yeah,
glad that they got that spot, because I was a little bit worried that if they had to play maybe a season in advance, a lot of good talent would have gotten moved around, and I really like that roster, so hopefully it kind of stays. Well,
yeah. Well,
I
it's,
know
it's
you got
already evolved
yeah,
with Android retiring from Counter Strike. That I don't think anyone
yeah,
really knows what happened there. Obviously some sort of falling out, but yeah,
yes,
I love Android too. Like I actually like he's one of the players I genuinely enjoy. Like when there's nothing going on at night, just kind of tuning into his stream and watching him play. So
exactly,
that's
yeah.
definitely kind of it's probably I don't know one of the hardest hitting kind of leaves from Counter Strike to Valorant for me.
Nitro.
Um, Nitro, yeah, Nitro leaving, but like I don't know. For me, I never had like any, you know,
No,
connection.
yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you mean, but it's just been a tough week, man.
yeah. Um, all right, so yeah, let's go on to yeah, and so also with obviously with Android leaving, Dazzle joins Zapug Gods, leaving PVO, Positive Vibes Only, and Viz from Third Impact has been trialing with PVO, Positive Vibes. So see how that continues if that becomes permanent for this
I mean, he's been
season.
doing really good in Fun Plus, or not, is it Fun Spark?
Fun Sport. Yeah, it was I think it's some Chinese tournament.
It is a Chinese tournament, because I know I tried to cast with Reggie in that tournament, and he told me that there was so much problems. We actually got the gig, and then all of a sudden, like we got message that we like couldn't do it, and so I don't know what happened there, but they I guess they forgot that they already had two casters for North America, and like we were just trying to get access to our like it on our own streams, and they were like, yeah, you guys can do it. Just get in contact with our HR. And so like we got the tweet ready and everything. And then all of a sudden we get the like clamp that we're like, it's a no go. Like, sorry, we forgot that we already hired these
Yeah.
two cashers for it, and
Well, I
we
will
got
say
denied. But
I tuned into that a couple of their games because you know they're relevant and good games to watch and
right.
I don't know. Sorry to the casters if they ever watch this, but it was not impressive. Very underwhelming. So I wish you guys were doing it
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah,
great
yeah.
matchups and just like not great casting.
Yeah, I didn't know the casters. I've never seen them before, although I'm learning a lot of new casters as I kind of
They
continue
were they
on.
were
But
English, so they were like up late as heck. Like
that, yeah,
it
see,
was
that's
very
just
late for
weird.
them.
I feel like that organ or that tournament just was maybe trying to have some fun, or maybe trying to get their toes wet or something, because yeah, hiring English casters to do North America just doesn't make any sense because of time. But I don't know. That's for another day, I guess. I don't. Hopefully next time they'll make the
Yeah,
right call.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. All right, so let's move on to more, I guess, prestigious and well-run events. And to kind of segue us
Yeah,
in there,
the event that
uh,
everyone's been watching here.
yeah, the news that everyone's been watching. Moses the Liquid as head coach. Dope. I love it
Yes,
personally. I mean, everyone loves it. I can't imagine anyone saying anything negative about it. Um,
yes,
and then kind of like going on with what I was saying with like the FunSpark casting. That same day on Sunday was DreamHack and FunSpark back and forth. Um, and the DreamHack casting was like scrawny and
Vince.
sorry, Vince, yeah. And it was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Like
I
they were
love
just like
Vince. Yeah.
praising Moses and just kind of like talking about how like a respectable person he was and
Oh
all this
yeah.
and that. And like he just seems like the perfect
Oh
CS:GO
yeah.
coach for this Liquid team. Yeah.
Yeah. And his goals as Liquid, trying to get another North American major winner. I mean, oh man, I just love that's like his goal, that he's going into this trying to get North America a second one, and I hope that he succeeds. I also do do enjoy that with a caster leaving the scene, move ups are bound to happen. You know, they're
Yeah.
gonna need to fill Moses' shoes, and I mean, I don't expect it to be me, but also it'll make room. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
always
yeah.
nice. So
Of
it
course.
is a big loss though, because Moses, I mean, is by far one of my favorite casters. I know that people are talking about Vince in chat. He's also one of my favorites personally. I agree that he's super underrated from like a casting point of view, but Moses, man, he just is like he's on a different tier, I think, from
Definitely.
a lot of different casters in CS. I mean, we have really good casters at the top level, but Moses, man, it's gonna be a loss on the production, but also it'll be super cool to see Liquid with him. So
Yeah. And I
super
mean,
excited.
the team in their first weekend of performing with Grim and stuff, just going off. I mean, it's insane. Like, Grim was top fragging in
Oh
every match, and then like it was cool listening to the
yes,
casters even talk about this team, right? Because like I remember when they were playing Chaos, they were literally just going like round by round. It's like, oh, okay, cool, Elise showed up now. Oh, cool, Twist just got a
yes,
4 kill round. And it's just like it's nuts, and like it's all set up so perfectly to
yeah,
be like everything that
dude.
everyone wants and expects from it. It's
The
awesome.
firepower on that team, man, it's just like like you said, I think it was Vince that was like when Elise is like your fourth man in, like your fourth player that you're like, all right, Grim didn't show up, okay, Twist didn't show up in this round, like, okay, Elise didn't show up in this round. You have like that backup there, like you just have so much firepower.
Yeah,
Like if one player doesn't show up and get like the opening kill, you have like Elige and Grim right behind them, ready to find the trade. So it just blows my mind that
yeah.
that roster is going to be super sick. I think.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so we'll come back. We'll come back to some liquid progress, but to kind of stay on the DreamHack's case, um, on Group A or whatever DreamHack calls their groups. There's two groups, so either Group One or Group A. Obviously, Chaos and Liquid move forward, and then tomorrow, Cloud9 versus TeamOne. To see who advances with Furia. And we were talking about this before, Xner. TeamOne was 3-1 versus Cloud9 over the weekend between DreamHack and
Yeah.
FunSpark. So clearly they've got their number.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. I mean, TeamOne is just beyond. I think an underrated Brazilian team. I don't. They are so good. They impressed me. I casted a couple of games. Their MDL record doesn't really reflect their skill because when it comes to like qualifiers and stuff, I don't know if they're like saving it for tournaments or what. I don't know if they're not trying as hard or if they just struggle in like league matches for ESEA. But when they show up to like play a qualifier or play in a tournament, they just blow my mind. Like I saw them beat Furia on Mirage. Like the casters were talking about how Fury hasn't lost a map on Mirage in like 3 months or so, and they just smoke them on Mirage, and then
yeah,
they lose the second map, or the third map, so they lose a series against Furia. But Fury is in like top shape right now. They've been
yeah,
looking very good in this tournament so far. So obviously they kind of struggle against them, but yeah, they go out they go in to the group B kind of like in a 1-1 fashion. So pretty good so far.
yeah. And so I love Cloud9. I like to follow them. I think they're kind of like my favorite.
Yeah.
It sounds weird to say up and coming, but like, if there's a team that maybe is ready to take another step forward, there's definitely another step to take for Cloud9. Same with Gen G. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, honestly, it'd be pretty cool to see TeamOne take this and move forward. And that's a huge point to make for them. So that'll
Oh
be
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to have what Group A come out with NA and Liquid Chaos, and Group B be full Brazil with Fury and Team One. But it'll be good no matter what, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm really liking this tournament so far. So it's Liquid and Chaos that move forward out of Group A, and then yeah, tomorrow we'll find out. I think if whether it be Team One or Cloud9. I think that yeah is already out, and I really
Yeah.
don't expect them to get any other chances at this point. But
Yep.
I mean they had a couple of games that impressed me a little bit, but hopefully with some more practice, some more experience, they'll get up there as well.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of go into a little bit of troll stuff here, I guess, with the Zellsis versus Potter, Christine Chi drama. Um, that caught me by surprise. Probably caught everyone by
Yeah.
surprise.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I guess for background,
I,
people that don't know, Potter kind of called out Pug Gods in one of their pre-matches. I forget who they were getting ready to play. I
I think
think
it was Chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Chaos or
Chaos.
Triumph. I think it might have been Triumph because they beat
Oh, was it
Triumph.
Triumph? It
I
might have
think
been
so.
Triumph. I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
And she pretty much just smoked them, saying like bunch of washed up players. They didn't win anything when they were together or when they were in their previous teams that were like in the top tier, and now they're back together and just like yeah, smoked them. And then said, oh yeah, but they're still gonna win. And then Jordan Zellsis came out and was just like what are you talking about? Like why'd you talk about us like that? And then vote for us to win. Like where's your analytics? I think you had an opinion about this all, didn't you, Xner?
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was like the most bizarre Twitter beef because first of all, like she said like I mean, some of the stuff she said was a little bit insulting, but also like she picked him to win, so like I wouldn't feel like I wouldn't be like too harmed if that was me, you know. I know that I'm sure there was some high emotions after the game and stuff like that, so I kind of understand it, but like I don't know, it felt like it was just so uncalled for to make that tweet in the first place. But then you got Potter that just hits him with like a pathetic and just like furthers the beef. So again, like with this Twitter beef, man, it's just so bizarre. I cannot.
Yeah.
This
It's
week is
it's
just so weird because I'm
yeah.
like, why are these two people fighting over like a 15-second Twitch clip of someone predicting that you're gonna win?
Yeah,
Like,
I love that he put the Twitch clip together too.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, 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 I like it. I think it's it was funny.
yeah,
For me, one thing it did is that it proved to me like ZPGs, Pug Gods, they're serious, right? The fact that he kind of like took up
yeah.
offense
That's
to
true,
it and
actually.
like made a comment
That's a
to it
good
and was
point.
like, this is bullshit, like this is not who we are. That was cool, and
Yeah,
that said a lot to me where it was just
I
like, yeah,
I do like kind of that fire that Zellsis has. I think that he kind of is getting back into CS fired up. So yeah, I actually super I like that point a whole lot for sure.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, like it's everyone knows that like this is a huge opportunity in CS where it is just being fully online. Like any of these teams can step up, especially with this MDL season. Going back to the the ESL Pro spot, you know, there's
Oh yeah.
a lot to play for, and there's obviously a lot of competition in MDL compared
Hmm.
to last season. Obviously,
Yeah.
Chaos just wiping the floor. So if teams can kind of like get their stuff together and start playing up to getting closer to their level, and if there's one team that's ready to do that's obviously it's Pug Gods. Um, so that kind of brings us to our last topic, ESL Cologne, which starts up. Forget what we said in
18th, I think.
18th.
18th through
So
the 29th.
so MDL relegation and Cologne will go on at the same time. That's awesome. So much
Yeah.
Counter Strike.
Yeah, I've needed it, man. I've been like it's just so ready. This player break has been so boring for me. Like I don't know. I just got into like casting like a couple months ago. I started like halfway through last season and like I don't know. All I wanted was more games to watch and more games to cast. Like I did it on like a nightly basis, and then all of a sudden I was like I was cut off. You know, like
Yeah, you
there's no
were
more advanced games
literally.
for me to cover.
Yeah,
And so I was like, what do I do from like the hours of like 9 to 11? And luckily I filled my time in with like kind of a new job, but like also I just want to get back to casting. So
for sure.
I'm so excited. But yeah, but like you said, ESL Cologne coming up, and it will be it'll be super fun to see some more top teams. Especially, I want to try and catch some more European CS. I kind of have only been watching North American, and
Yeah,
once things get back into the swing of things, I want to have a little bit of more knowledge on how the European scene looks because I've seen a lot of upsets.
I agree. Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. Yeah, for you and
Yeah,
me both. Like literally. I mean, and it's so obvious too, right? Because I mean, the fact that Big turned out to be number one. Like who was Big before like this pandemic broke out?
exactly.
Like
Like
what?
I just watched the finals, and I was like, oh wait,
Yeah, cool bear
Big
claw.
Clan won?
Yeah.
Like I mean they were like tier 2. Like I don't I last time I watched them it was like bizarre to see them win a tournament. Granted it's online. That's the roster was Xanteras, right?
I think so.
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah. I think so. I think Xanteras is on that one. I'm not sure, but like yeah, just that roster online, I feel like is just nuts, you know. So
But yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, it proves kind of like what I was talking about before, right? Where it's like this online scene, and it's as obvious, but I'll reiterate it anyway. It's just like it just proves like if teams that are willing to grind can beat whoever. And I mean, like
yeah,
Chaos's progress is showing that, if you're putting in the work and you like stay consistent with it, like they're wiping the floor with these like lesser tier teams now.
oh yeah,
It's not competition for them. Now they're getting ready to step up to this next level. Like, they're playing up with Liquid, um, Triumph, and like that's now their new level, I think, officially. I guess that maybe it started with like the MDL tournament when they won by convincing
yeah.
fashion, but
I mean, they kind of pulled off that triple crown. I'm from
yeah,
Kentucky, so I don't know if that's like a actual like term, but it means like when you win. I don't even know what it means, but I think it means a derby, something else, and like two other competitions. But they pulled off, was it Winners League, MDL, and then I think it was like Mythic League or something. So
yes, I
they
think
got the
so.
whole three of those wins, and I think since on they've just been destroying the competition in tier two, and I definitely see like a move up for them coming in the future towards that tier one, towards that liquid evil geniuses level, hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're up against Furia, Genji, and 100 Thieves, so I think this will be the good tournament to prove it
Yeah,
in
I, I
Group A.
I didn't I didn't even notice they were in that group. That's a cool group, and that kind of brings me into
Yeah,
like the comment I wanted to make about 100 Thieves and Nadeshot. I think he got on camera today or yesterday. I'm just kind of saying like, yeah, I know that my 100 Thieves teams suck, or they're not performing. And like he did make a point where he's like, the CS team is doing okay, but they're not elevated to like that level of like winning something yet. I think everyone that's on like that's like following Counter Nature and like following the CS scene, like 100 Thieves looks good. They do, but they haven't won anything yet. So
yeah,
this is a cool opportunity, especially with like their CEO coming out and saying that, like, hey, I hate losing. It sucks that these 100 Thieves teams aren't playing well, but also buy my merch and watch our content. Um, but so yeah, it'll be cool to see that. And I think with that being said, I think 100 Thieves goes off. I think for me, I'm gonna take 100 Thieves and Furia. I think Chaos competes, but I'm gonna give it to them. And then I'll
oof.
go
But Gen
Liquid and
G, man,
yeah, Genji. Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
all right,
I'm going with
I
it.
might. I'm saying Fury and Gen G.
Furia and
I'm going
Genji.
for I feel it. I think Chaos will have some decent maps. I think 100 Thieves will have some decent maps. I think that Genji's overrated. I don't know. I don't think they're that overrated. They have some strong players, but I just am kind of a huge fan of Automatic, so maybe some bias going in there as well. But it'll be interesting to see that group play out. As for Group B, I mean, I've got Evil Geniuses in Liquid. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
easy as well.
yeah. Unless Cloud9 has some insane maps,
Yeah,
but the way that they've performed in this week, I don't know. They don't look up to standard. I mean,
yeah.
so we'll see though. I mean, yeah, next week's gonna be
Oh yeah.
lit. This week was lit. All
I'm
all
actually
these,
super excited. Yeah.
yeah. It's
I
tons of counter
didn't
strike.
see the groups, but it'll be super cool to see Evil Geniuses and Gen G get back into the swing of things after a good player break for them.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's it for me. What about you, Xner?
Yeah, I've got nothing else other than to make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to Counter Nature, both on Twitch and on, well, I guess both on YouTube, and maybe follow on Twitch, I guess is the best way to put it. You
If you
know,
want to
hit
subscribe,
up
that's
our
cool too.
socials. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Twitch Prime, Twitch Gaming or whatever, Gaming Prime or something,
Yeah, oh,
whatever
yeah.
they rebranded it
Shout
to.
out to
But yeah,
Jeff Bezos.
yeah, yeah, just collecting checks over there, man. But yeah, I mean, make sure you follow all of our socials, especially this channel, because we are trying to continue to grow up. But yeah, super excited to see what's in store for us, and super excited for next week as always.
Yeah, and so I'll make this the official sign off for the YouTube video. Peace out, guys, from me. Peace out.